Extra. The dog hates me. No, I think it hates everyone.
It's Tyrell. You know Tyrell. You know Tyrell. My dog still doesn't like you. You know Tyrell.
The dog's never gonna like me. How are you this morning?
I'm good. Ready to go train some legs. Oi! Look, he's all bark, but he's no bite, he backs up.
Audio Jungle.
When you're ready.
Alright guys, now that Baxter has finished barking, I guess we can continue filming this video. I'm going to take you through my leg workout. I'm going to show you which exercise I perform, the number of sets and the number of reps that I do, while giving you guys some tips along the way. However, before I head to the gym, I'm going to take a pre-workout. As most of you know, I am a sponsored athlete, or I was a sponsored athlete by the company EHP Labs. However, I have just recently left EHP Labs. Nothing personal, nothing against EHP Labs. I love EHP, I love the people there, I love the team, I love their products. I still use their Oxy Whey protein, I still use their creatine, I still use some of their products. However, as a team, we made a decision to leave EHP Labs because I guess I got to a point in my life where it's time for me to grow as a person and for Joseph Rakic Fitness to grow as a company. So I have left EHP Labs and I have gone and now started my own brand new supplement company. And that supplement company is called JRF Supplements. Now we've just launched with two products. We've launched with pre-workout, and that is called Rakic Rage, and we've also launched with a fat burner called Rakic Ripped. These are available on my website right now, so you can purchase them there. We've got two awesome flavors, so go and check them out. Now I'm a real science guy, so everything, these are formulated 100% by myself. So I know which ingredients work, and I know which are the correct dosages to feel the effect of these ingredients. So this is from years and years of my own research and my own knowledge, which I have come together and put together this formula for my pre-workout and my fat burner. So I am going to be biased here, and I am going to say this is the best pre-workout on the market and this is the best fat burner on the market because it's 100% formulated by myself with the ingredients that I recommend and at the dosages that I advise. Now we have tested these supplements, we've tried them ourselves, and I kid you not, I had amazing workouts on these pre-workouts, and when I took the fat burner I was sweating, man. You could just feel my body burning through calories, my metabolism was raised to a high degree. Now I'll put the nutrition information of both of these pre-workout and my fat burner on the screen right now, so you can check it out and you'll be able to see for yourself the ingredients there. So nothing is hidden, nothing's a proprietary blend, which a lot of these other companies do. I don't believe in that. I believe in showing you what is exactly in my products because I know they work. Anyway, it's time for me to take my pre-workout and head to the gym for a leg session. Alright, so this is my pre-workout called Rakic Rage. However, none of these are the ones that we went for. So these are just mock-up designs. The guy in my office, Tyrell, he was doing different designs for us just to see which packaging we liked. At the moment, this is just computer paper wrapped around a container, just so we can get the idea. And none of these are the ones we went for. The one we went for, we'll put an image on the screen right now just so you can see it. But this is the size of the tub, and this is the size of the fat burner. Again, this has got no label on it. This is just, sampling the ingredients and the flavors. But this is the size of it. And again, we'll put a picture up on the screen right now of exactly what this one looks like. And today, I'm going to be taking the Wicked Watermelon flavor. Actually, I'll mix it in a glass just so you guys can see. Smells good. I know you guys at home can't smell it, but it smells good. Now, a lot of pre-workouts, you get that bloated feeling in your stomach, just, you know, that yuck. Blech. Now, these supplements here that I formulated, no bloating whatsoever. Now, I normally shake this up in a container, but just to show you guys at home. So this is my pre-workout. Again, all the ingredients will be on the screen, either somewhere earlier in this video or at the end of this video. Nothing hidden. The taste is amazing. I know you guys at home can't taste it, but take my word, the taste is amazing. I'm not just saying this because this is my brand. I sampled many different flavors, and I obviously chose the flavor that I like the best. And without a doubt, I swear on my life right now, I swear to God, these are the best tasting pre-workout and fat burner that I've ever tried. And of course I'm gonna say that is my brand, but I kid you not, no biased take here. I tasted and tested many different flavors, and I chose the one that was amazing, and I'm giving it to you guys right now. If you want to purchase any of these supplements, just visit my website. The link is in the description box down below. Check out the pre-workouts, try them out, and make sure you give me your feedback. I know they're great because I formulated them myself, and you'll love it. Anyway, I'm gonna scull this right now, and then I'm gonna go train my legs. I'll see you guys soon. Time to destroy some legs. The first set that we're going to do, we're just going to do the bar, just warm up, get the blood in the legs, focus on form, let's get the muscles working basically. It's always best to do that before you go into the heavy sets. That way it's going to prevent your injury and prevent you from hurting yourself. That's the same thing, isn't it?
Gotta live it up. We're in the danger zone, afraid to lose control. In love with the unknown, afraid to lose control. What you waiting for? We could be so much more, and you wanted to. What you waiting for? We could have left the shore. Yeah, you know it's true. You think you can hide it, but I know what you feel.
So today for these squats we're doing just flat foot, so flat ground. But sometimes what I do, I put plates underneath my feet. So this is 5 kg plate. And I stand on it like this. So what that does, it lifts your heel just slightly up and it places more stress on the quad. So that's a tip for you guys at home if you want to put more stress on your quad. However, I did that last leg day. So today I'm just going normal straight feet. each set, I always like to progress up in weight. As I progress up in weight, I decrease the reps. So normally the first set, I'll do something like 20 reps, then I'll increase the weight. Then I'll do maybe 15 reps, I'll increase the weight again, then go 12, increase the weight again, go 10. But I always believe in, you know, slowly increasing the weight each set.
What you waiting for? We could be so much more, and you wanted to. What you waiting for? We could have left the shore. Yeah, you know it's true. You think you can hide it, but I know what you're feeling every time you look my way. Go on being mysterious, got me feeling delirious. Baby, I'm playing, and you know what I'm feeling every time I look away. This time I'm gonna
I always like to go really deep with my reps. The deeper you go, the more hamstring and the more glute activation there is. If you only use a partial range of motion, it's mainly going to be the quads. We want to work the entire leg, so I go right the way down, ATG, ask the grass. And that was our first exercise, guys, barbell squats. We did 5 sets in total. Each time we increased the weight, we decreased the reps. And the rep range was anywhere between 5 and 20. Second exercise, guys, we're now focusing on the quads. So we're gonna do leg extension. We're gonna focus on squeeze and contraction on every rep. The harder you squeeze, the harder you contract the muscle, the more activation. The more activation there is, the more chance that muscle to grow, providing that your diet is on point. We're also gonna stress the muscles to a high degree at this one. So we're gonna do leg extension. We're then gonna superset it with partial body weight squats. Now, the reason we're doing partial body weight squats is to keep the stress and keep the tension on the quads. When you go right the way down and then you come right the way up, the quads get a rest. So we're gonna go right the way down and only come up to there. What that's going to do is going to keep the stress and tension on the quads the whole entire time. The more stress, the more tension, the more shock it's going to apply to the muscle, which is going to result in more muscle growth. Especially since we're supersetting it. So it's like a double combo. Alright, first exercise. Or first set, sorry.
sure. Yeah, you know it's true. You think you can hide it, but I know what you're feeling every time you look my way. Go on being mysterious, got me feeling delirious. Baby, I'm playing, and you know what I'm feeling every time I look away. This time I'm gonna stir it up. You and me gotta live it up. We're in the danger zone, afraid to lose control. In love with the unknown, afraid to lose control.
Honestly, the burn in that is crazy. When you guys try this, you'll understand exactly what I mean when you do that. The key to doing this is to not bounce. You want to push up with the quads and don't get that bounce going.
In love with the unknown, afraid to lose control. you waiting for? We could be so much more, and you wanted to. What you waiting for? We could have left the shore. Yeah, you know it's true. You think you can hide it, but I know what you're feeling. Every time you...
And another reason, I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier, the reason I'm putting my heels up on that plate is obviously to lift my heels up. With your heels raised, more stress on the quad. If your heels are not raised, it still works the quad obviously, but more hamstring and glute. So we're just shifting that stress from the full leg. It's still working the full leg, but we're placing more of the stress to the quad and less on the hamstring and glute. So this is third set for this one, guys. Third and final set, we're going max weight this time, overloading the muscle with weight. Muscle growth from overload, the many different types of overload, whether it be stress, tension, which is time under tension, and weight overload obviously. So this time now we're trying to overload the muscle with weight overload, and then stress overload with a superset and the partials. That is killer. That may not look hard, but don't diss it until you try it. You do that after a heavy set of leg extensions. I used to be a personal trainer in a gym, I'm not anymore, but when I was in a gym training clients, you know, one-on-one, I'd have people do this, you know, 20 reps, they fall to the ground, and it's a lot harder than it looks. It's because the muscle is under constant stress, constant tension. It doesn't get a break. Right, so we're onto the leg curl now. Leg curl, obviously working the back of the legs, which is the hamstring muscle. Now, the correct way to do this is like this when you're lying right the way down. However, my technique is a little bit different. I've done another video on this where I mentioned this technique or this form that I use. What I like to do, I actually like to sit up with my body like this. What that does, it allows me to get a better contraction of the hamstring muscle. Better the contraction, the more muscle activation you're getting, which is going to lead to more muscle growth. However, when you're doing it like this, it is a lot harder. So I do a few reps there, whether it be 8, 10, 12, 15, whatever. I go till I can't really do any more. I then lie down, and I then get more reps out doing it the correct way. If you haven't tried it, it's definitely one that I recommend you try. We're gonna go 3 sets in total for this, guys.
What you waiting for? We could be so much more, and you wanted to. What you waiting for? We could have left the shore.
That burns. 3 sets of that, guys. 2 different techniques. Sitting up first, focus on squeeze, a contraction, and then go lying down and just pump the reps out. We're now onto the hamstring leg press. Great exercise for working the entire leg, quads, hamstrings and glutes. Now I like to have the seat as close as I can. What that allows me to do is bring my legs right the way back. The further my legs come back, the more muscle fibers I can rip because there's a bigger range of motion. This is probably one of my favorite leg exercises, eh? Just a really good feel when you do this. We'll be doing 3 sets on this one. Rep range about 10 to 12. Keeping it all around that low rep range. But I'm going to be increasing the weight on each set. When doing this exercise here, I like to focus on a negative rep, which means the way back, controlling that, because believe it or not, there's actually more muscle fibers ripped on a negative range of motion in any exercise that you perform. So you always want to pay attention to the negative rep, and that's what a lot of people don't do. So that's a tip for you guys.
What you waiting for? We could be so much more, and you wanted to. What you waiting for? We could have left the shore. Yeah, you know it's true. You think you can hide it, but I know what you're feeling.
And that right there, guys, is the end of this leg workout done. I'm now gonna pack my weights up because I'm a good boy, and then I'm gonna go home and get some protein in me. Alright guys, back from the gym now, obviously. Now it's time to get a meal in. So I'm going to have bacon and eggs, get my protein and fat. For anyone that's been following me on social media recently, you obviously know that I've just recently switched over to a keto diet. Now, I just want to let everyone know there is no benefits of a keto diet in regards to building muscle or losing body fat. At the end of the day, it all comes down to calories in versus calories out. So you're probably asking, why have I gone to a keto diet then? My whole life and my whole physique has been built off, you know, a high carbohydrate diet. Now I've tracked my calories and my macronutrients for literally years and years. You know, I've come to my calories to the gram. And for years, I've always been on a high carb diet, whether I'm bulking or cutting. My carb intake is, you know, usually between 400 and 500 grams daily, just because I'm being on such a high calorie intake. My calorie intake before starting the keto diet was 4,800 calories, and the reason I can consume so much calories is because I've built my metabolism and built my metabolic rate up over time. My body has adapted, and now I can maintain leanness at that weight. at that calorie intake, sorry. So back to my question, why have I gone to a keto diet? I have changed over to a keto diet. So instead of my body running off carbs or glucose as fuel, my body is now going to be running off dietary fat and ketones. So I guess it's just another energy source for my body. I've been running off carbs my whole life, and I've been doing a lot of research on keto diets, and there's a lot of benefits. Brain function, your mood, your energy levels, the way you think, the way you process information. Now I've been on keto for some time now, and so far I'm loving the effects. It's blunted all my cravings. I don't crave anything at all. My appetite has been suppressed. Now I got an appetite of like 10 lions, so suppressing my appetite is a good thing. Now, do I recommend a keto diet for the majority of people? I guess it depends. For the majority of people, I would say no. Reason being because there's no fat loss benefits. It all comes down to calories in versus calories out. You know, if you're in a 500 calorie deficit on a keto diet or a 500 calorie deficit on a high carb diet, the total amount of body fat loss is going to be equal. However, if a keto diet helps you adhere to a calorie deficit, then yes, it may be beneficial to use a keto diet to achieve your goals, because keto does severely suppress your appetite, because protein and fat kill your appetite. Carbs make you hungry because of your insulin spikes. Now, I wouldn't recommend a keto diet for the majority of people. Reason being is because you are literally removing an entire food group. When you're on keto, it is just protein and fat, like really, really high fats. And when you remove a whole entire food group, you're so limited. My diet basically consists of bacon, eggs, avocados, olive oils, fatty pork, fatty meat, steak. Like, I eat the fat, I put butter on my meat. You're really limited on your food intake. I no longer can eat fruit, I no longer can eat sushi, no longer can eat oats. Because if I do, it's not that I won't get my results that I'm trying to achieve, but it'll kick me out of ketosis. Now if I'm kicked out of ketosis, I'll start to feel shit, I'll feel tired, I'll feel lethargic. Now I'm doing keto for my brain, my mood, my productivity. So if I want to keep those all high, I've got to stay in ketosis. So protein and fat only. Now, a lot of people try keto and they say, oh, I feel terrible, keto feels like, I feel like shit on keto. And I can guarantee you, keto does not make you feel shit. Keto works, keto is amazing. If you feel shit, keto is not the problem. It is your application to the keto diet that's the problem. Now, a lot of people on the keto diet have their protein intake way too high. If your protein intake is way too high, your body converts that protein through a system called gluconeogenesis. What that basically means is it converts that protein into sugar in the liver, and you use that sugar as glucose, as energy. So you end up running up glucose and sugar instead of dietary fat, body fat, and ketones. So that's why some people feel shit. It's because their protein intake is too high. Another reason why people feel shit on the keto diet is because they understand keto. Keto is no carbs. So what they do, they remove all their carbs, and that's it. And they think they're in keto, but they feel absolutely shit because their body's just basically running off protein. To do the keto diet correctly, you can't just remove your carbs. You have to remove your carbs, but you have to pay a big attention to putting as much dietary fat in your diet as you can. So I'm literally putting butter on my steak, I'm covering my steak in oil, I'm eating the fat on my steak, I'm eating bacon, I'm eating the yolks in the eggs, I'm eating so much nuts, I'm eating avocados, all to keep my fat intake high. Because if my fat intake is not high enough, I'm going to be feeling shit. And that's when I'm going to complain and say keto is shit. Keto is not shit, it is your application to the keto diet. I guarantee you that. I'm on keto and I feel absolutely amazing. The way I think, like by 9 AM in the morning, I've already woken up, done so much work, like 3 or 4 hours work, that would usually take me, half a day to complete. My energy levels are up here, I'm not crashing in energy levels, I'm not feeling tired, I'm not feeling lethargic. So my recommendations on keto, 10 out of 10, and I definitely recommend it if you want those benefits. I do not recommend it if it's gonna be a pain to your life and your lifestyle, because you do have to remove so many carbs, so many food sources. So that's my take on the keto diet. For anyone that wants to try a keto diet, I do offer keto meal plans. I offer normal meal plans that include carbs. Again, no difference at all in regards to body composition. It all comes down to a personal preference. If you want a diet from me that contains carbs, whether building muscle or losing body fat, I can help you there. If you want a ketogenic diet from me for building muscle or losing body fat, I can also help you there. Link is in the description box down below. Follow what I tell you to do and you will get results guaranteed. So this meal here, 4 bacon, 4 eggs. Now to increase my fat intake, I'm actually going to add some butter. So a big staple in the ketogenic diet is consuming a lot of butter. Because I'm on such a high calorie intake, guys, my calorie intake is, you know, literally at 5,000 calories. I am bulking in a keto diet. So just because I'm on 5,000 calories doesn't mean you should copy 5,000 calories, because if you do, you'll most likely get very, very fat very, very fast. Everyone requires a different amount of calories. So I have 20 grams of butter every time I have a meal. You know, I put it on my steak, I put it on my salmon, I put it on my bacon and eggs. Now I don't need to weigh this because I've cut my butter, you know, a million times now, and I know this is roughly 20 grams. I will actually weigh it, and let's see how close I get. You know, I've weighed this many times before, so I can pretty much guarantee this is going to be 20 grams. 24. Shit, I failed. Close enough anyway, guys. So once you know roughly, you know, what it is, you can just estimate, and that's roughly 20 grams, or 24, 4 grams over. Not going to really do much harm.
How does that affect your cholesterol?
No, it doesn't. I'll link some studies in the description box down below that has all the information regarding cholesterol, because a lot of people think dietary fat leads to cholesterol. So I'll put some links in the description box down below that leads you to a lot of studies that explain all this in more detail than I can provide right now.
The camera does not like your fridge.
Really? Now I guess this is a very unusual way for me to eat, because I've always been such a high carb diet. Like, as I said before, my body was built off high carbs. 400 to 500 grams of carbs per day. You know, I cut on like 300 grams of carbs. Obviously just being a calorie deficit. And now I'm eating bacon, I'm having the bacon fat, I'm putting butter on my meat. Like when my mum saw me eat this way, she's like, what are you doing? But yeah, it's just a different way of dieting. Will I be doing this for life? No, because you have to exclude so many foods. But I'm doing it now for the time being, and I honestly feel amazing. Another great benefit to keto, guys, is your skin clears up. Like if you have bad skin problems, go keto and say goodbye to those problems. Some other staple foods that I have on the keto diet, or one of my favorite staples, lamb patties, lamb burger patties. High in protein, high in fat. And of course, salmon. Now keto, guys, is not just low carbs. You have to pay attention to getting your fat in. Like that is a point that I just... Every time. I think I need Mimi, eh? So when I go to a restaurant, I used to, you know, get like an eye fillet steak, which is like a lean cut of steak, and I used to, you know, cut the fat off. And I used to ask the waiter, no oil on my steak, please. Now when I go to a restaurant and order a meal, I'll get, you know, the fattiest piece of steak, whether it be sirloin or whatever, and I'll actually ask the waiter, can I have 2 sides of extra butter? The waiter usually looks at me like, what? Oops. Now that is beautiful. So again, guys, my body is no longer running off carbohydrates or glucose. My body is now running off fat as a fuel source and ketones. You feel amazing, you feel so good, your energy is always high, you don't crash, you never feel lethargic. I highly rate this. Now the protein, carb and fat breakdown for this meal, 0.3 grams of carbs, so it's basically no carbs. Fat intake is 60.2 grams and 38.9 grams of protein. 4 eggs, 4 bacon and 20 grams of butter. Anyway guys, I'm going to go enjoy this meal right now, then I'm going to head to the JRF offices and catch up with my team. For anyone that needs help with a keto meal plan or a normal meal plan that contains carbohydrates, whether you want to build muscle or lose body fat, just click the link in the description box down below. New videos every day, so make sure you subscribe.